second?
Second.
All in favor, show of hands. Motion carried. Can I get a motion to adopt the minutes from January 23rd, 2024 regular council meeting?
Mayor and council, I make a motion to adopt the minutes as read.
Can I get a second?
Second.
All in favor, show of hands. Motion carried. One opposed. We already had a presentation, so we'll move down to item 8, LCPC.
I'm sorry, can I, say one thing about the minutes? That I just wanna make one correction if we could. There's, on page 2, it says, I said by law, the incumbent on the ballot with the most votes when last elected will automatically become mayor pro tem. I'd just like that to say by operation of the charter. It's not a law, but it's a charter. It's our law, I guess, our charter. Right. Would anyone be willing to make a motion to approve it?
I make a motion that we pass the minutes with the proposed amendment.
No problem. Can I get a second?
Sure.
Those in favor, show of hands. Motion carried. Anyone opposed? Okay. LCPC.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon. Thank you.
Okay. The first thing I have for you this afternoon is rezoning petition 2024-001 W for Walthourville, of course. A rezoning petition was submitted by Mr. Melvin Bellman, applicant to rezone 0.4 acres of land from AR1 to C3 for a barbecue restaurant. The property is located at the intersection of Dunleavy Road and Bobby Street in Walthourville. The map of parcels 063C-023. And I'm pretty sure your packets can follow along with me. If you need me to stop, I can show you a slide. The next slide, of course, is our publications. We showed the rezoning sign and the legal ad. The next slide is the vicinity map, and you can follow me along if you can. You see Dunleavy Road, and then it goes into Bobby Street. And in the back of Bobby Street, the McDonald Ridge subdivision is at the end of McDonald Ridge there. The next slide is our zoning map, and as you can see, most of the area is residential, AR1 and R8, and some single-family mobile home residents. There are 2 C2s across the street. It's the gas station right across the street from the property, but most of it is either going to be residential or ag. And I'll read the narrative from the applicant. My name is Bruce Bellman, born and raised in Allenhurst, Georgia. In the Prey and the Martin family. I moved to Atlanta in 1984 and cooked at several fine dine restaurants for 40 years. I have a love and passion for people and cooking. I'd like to bring this community of Liberty County, I'd like to bring this to the community of Liberty County. Having been raised here and understanding the things that matter, family, affordability, and quality, I want to invest back into the community. I remain optimistic about the opportunity and possibility for the city of Walthourville and Liberty County. A copy of the plat is just to show you the survey of the property. The house that's on the plat is no longer there. I believe it burned down. Yeah, it was removed. moved off the property. Next, I'll go into the zoning analysis. Does the property have reasonable economic value as currently zoned? Yes, it does. Does the proposed use conform to the Fort Stewart J-List study? Yes, it does. Does the proposed use conform to the Liberty County comp plan? The comprehensive plan designated this property as residential low density. Will there be an adverse effect on the value and usability of nearby properties? Yes, it would. Is the property use suitable in view of nearby uses? No. Will the zoning proposal create undue burden on transportation, including streets, transit, and schools, utilities, or the provision of public safety? No, it would not. Would this allow a short-term gain at the expense of the local long-term goals? Yes. Would this change cause a domino effect and encourage sprawl? Yes, we can see that it did. Are there any unique historical sites which may be adversely impacted? There was none noted. The property is not in a flood zone, and is it spot zoning and unrelated to the existing patterns of development? No. Are there any unique conditions which support approval or denial? Yes, the property is located at the entrance of an established single-family subdivision and approximate to the existing single-family residence. And the LCPC staff did recommend disapproval.
You said disapproval?
Yes, ma'am.
Can you explain number 8, like the domino effect and the sprawl?
Well, we're thinking there, even though there is the only commercials across the street, that if we're thinking that it could have more people to want to rezone in that residential area as commercial and to.
That's right. The domino effect is, that's one of the questions that we use in our analysis of rezoning request. And if you approving this one is likely to make somebody else ask, then that's the domino.
Can you explain what the adverse effect on the value be, please?
Which one is that?
Number 4.
Well, to me, and Jeff could reiterate, that one we were just thinking about the traffic, noise, not sure what type of lighting would be there. And we did have a property owner that lives right next door, and she's been there for a really long time, and she was against it.
She came to the plan meeting.
She did.
Yes, sir, she did. Yeah, and she is here tonight too.
Could we hear, you said there's some residents here?
Yes, ma'am, we had one. Miss Withers is here.
Ms. Withers, could you, come up, please, come up to the podium and state your name?
She's right next door.
Excuse me. Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Yes, I am right next door. And I don't object to the business itself, but being right next door to me, to my property, that would be, I have to say no to that. You know, there's a store all the way across the street, and we have a lot of traffic. We have noise, and being a senior citizen, you know, and I'm sure there are other neighbors that's right in the area, they would not approve of that. I talked to the gentleman, Mr. Bell, and I told him I didn't have anything against him. You know, I know he could make quite a good barbecue, but I don't want it next to me, if I could help it. But if you did approve it, I could live. I'm gonna live, I'm gonna be happy regardless. But I would just object to this.
Councilman, do you have any questions for Ms. Withers?
Ms. Withers, the reason you're opposing it is because of the potential of the noise being there.
The noise of the traffic, you know where I live, and I'm right to it. I'm already having trouble with people coming through my property from the back, from that lane down there, coming through my property. I'm already having that problem. So I'm sure if I've got a business there, they're gonna probably wanna come back through the log yard here to get some barbecue, and you know, that's tiresome. It's tiresome. It's tiresome. If you were in my shoes, if you were living right there, I don't think you would want it there either. But, you know, as I said, if you happen to approve it, you know, hey, I can live with it.
If they were to hypothetically put up a fence, do you think that would alleviate some of your concern?
Well, it probably could, it probably could. We have traffic from the dogs across the street dragging trash over, in the yard, People say they're gonna do so much to make things better, but, you have no control over people.
Yeah.
Because people gonna do what they wanna do. Because if you've been over there, those guys gonna be over there with their music blasting, they're gonna be over there drinking, it's gonna be a hot summer evening. They want some barbecue when they got their bottles, what can you do? I'm gonna be calling Mr. Reed, every 30 minutes, But, like I said, it's left up to you, but I voiced my concern, I said no. That's it.
Okay.
Is the property owner here?
Mr. Bellman,
Is Mr. Bellman here?
And he told me he was not gonna be here, but somebody would be here to represent him.
is there anyone
But
representing?
I don't see the man that said he was gonna be here.
I reached out to him several times today and I couldn't.
Thank you, Michelle.
Okay, all right, thank you.
Council members, this has been presented to us. Yeah.
I actually got out and asked neighbors behind where he's gonna be at, and everybody behind where the space is gonna be said no. I went to knock on the doors of neighbors, so, I just wanted to see what the citizen says, and everyone I talked to on Bobby Street, the 4 houses on the left and the 4 houses on the right said no.
Okay.
So, I did go out and speak to, and the same issues that Ms. Weather said, that's what they were saying, the same thing.
Okay. Council members, can I get a motion there? LCPC is recommending disapproval. What's your pleasure?
I'll make a motion that we disapprove the rezoning for that property.
Second.
All in favor of disapproval by showing hand? None opposed? Motion carried. Next on the agenda, item number 8, number 2, mobile home permit for Sanders Road.
Yes. This is just the mobile home permit for Sanders Road. The parcel is 051C003, and I did include a vicinity map in the packet. I'm sure you all know where it's at. This is for a double-wide manufactured home. Property owner is Hinesville Home Center. It will be on city water and sewer. It's zoned AR1 agricultural residential, which allows a double or single wide with type B skirting, which can be vinyl, treated lumber, or masonry material. And I did also include, I think in this one, just a picture. I tried to get an idea to let you know, like a picture of what the mobile home will possibly look like. And Ms. Jennings is here with Hinesville Home Center if you have any questions for myself or her. Ms. Stewart.
Ms. Jennings?
Yes, ma'am.
Can you come up to the podium, please? Can you state your name and where you from, please?
Yes, Lauren Jennings, I'm the manager at Hinesville Home Center.
Council members, you have a question?
Yes, I have a question, ma'am. It's hard for me to tell from the aerial view, but is the property across the street another mobile home, or is it a house?
I believe it's a house. There's two parcels on Sanders Road right there, and we're purchasing the one that's on the right.
I know the house is on the corner.
This will be the house. This is what I'm referring to.
Yes, sir.
I can't tell by the area, but.
It's kind of hard.
This is where that. It's right, yeah, that's a house, it's directly across from the house.
Okay.
At one point, this person was putting this on the market, they pulled it off.
Okay.
But it's this one right here.
All right. Thank you.
And it's actually gonna have metal skirting because the loan's gonna be an FHA loan. So it'll have metal skirting, so even if down the road it'll still look fine, people, weed and stuff too.
So that land is already clear, that lot?
No, not yet, it will be.
And the road is gonna get cut off of Sanders or coming in on the?
No, it's on Sanders.
It's on Sanders?
Yeah, it's on Sanders. These are Mr. and Mrs. Davis that are purchasing, they're doing a land home package with us.
You can get to it from Carter or Arnold.
Yeah.
Any more questions, council members? All right, what's your pleasure?
And there was no opposition from any of the surrounding property owners.
No, ma'am, for the mobile home permits, we don't have to send out the letters like we do for zoning or conditional use. This is just strictly for the mobile home permit.
I make a motion that we,
Let me ask a question. I'm sorry, Mr. Councilmember Dodd. If a member were to come to this council and oppose it, will they be allowed to speak, to defend that? I'm just asking.
Well, sure, I'm sure they could speak. They wouldn't have any way of knowing the mobile home was going there unless they, knew.
Because it's zoned for manufactured homes. Whenever
Yeah.
a customer comes to us looking for land, the first thing I check is to make sure it's zoned.
So it's not an action that would be, like the land wouldn't be something they'd be voting on, it's just the actual permit.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Did you have a question?
No, I keep smiling. Congratulations, by the way.
Thank you.
Me and him smiling, in case everybody want to know. We're happy to see mobile homes like this coming in Walthourville. New, looking good. So that's why we're smiling.
Wait to hear about the next week.
Yeah, that's why we're smiling.
Mayor, I make a motion that we approve the mobile home permit that's in the bill.
Can I get a second?
I second.
I third it.
All in favor? Show of hands. Motion carried. Next.
Congratulations.
Thank you, Lisa. Welcome to Walthourville.
And the next one is pretty much the same thing, but this one is a permit for number 9 Jones Court. The map and parcel number is 051A 064. It's for a double wide manufactured home. Again, it's with Lauren at Hinesville Home Center. It's on city water and sewer. This particular property is on single family mobile home, manufactured homes, which allows double wide or single wides with the same type of skirting. Again, too, there was an old mobile home on this property, and I believe it's still there. It's still there, but it's in really bad shape. So this will look really good on the actually.
So it's gonna be removed.
Yes, sir.
Oh, it has to be, you
Yeah.
can't put a new one there.
Yeah, you wouldn't be able to meet the setbacks or place the mobile home in there without. And again, I, got you the best picture that I could with the new mobile home.
Same kind of skirting on that one.
It'll be metal, yeah, and it's actually a young military couple, so they're doing a VA loan.
Okay.
So they PCS here, I like the area because it was quiet, it's down there by Hillary Park. But I don't know if anybody knows the area, what's there is, been there for probably 30 years. You can't even see what's there. There's an old single wide and it looks like an awning in the front. It's a 1/4 of an acre and it's city water. Apparently there was a septic there years ago. I don't know how anybody put a house with a septic on a 1/4 of an acre, but I did have the gentleman, the head of public works from Walthourville already go and look. And we're gonna tap into the city water, city sewer, so there'll be additional revenue for the city for a new tap-in fee also.
And that old mobile home will be removed.
Oh, yeah, it has to be, you can't put a new one otherwise.
Okay.
Is there the one that's, this area near a cemetery that's over there or something like that?
On that, Jones Court, no ma'am.
Jones Court.
If you go all the way to the end where Hillary Park is and you make a right, and you make a right on that road there, and then there's a big tree right in the middle of the road, and you go down and then you curve off to Jones Court. That originally was a little mobile home subdivision, but it's the corner lot on the left. There's a fence there, and that's what's everything's gonna come down for the new mobile home.
Thank you.
So they'll be doing a little clearing and all that.
Oh, the whole 1/4 acre will be cleared.
All right, council members, any more questions on this?
Motion to approve the permit for 9 Jones Court.
Second.
All in favor, show of hands.
You all can find me more land, I'll bring more houses in. It's very hard to find land. People wanna live in this area, so. Thank you so much.
The last one I have is a business license. I have a business license for ABL Tax Service. The business owner is Andrea Brown Lewis. The property address would be 1512 Talmadge Road. Parcel number is 052B 032. It is zoned R8, which is single family residential. Ms. Lewis will be providing a full tax service. No clients to be allowed to come to the residence. I went over the application with Ms. Lewis. She totally understands that she can't have any clients coming to the home, any signs or anything like that. In the packet, I also have a letter from the property owner with written permission that they have no problems with her using that residence to have the business. There is a narrative I can read, and Ms. Lewis is here if you need to speak with her, but It's operated by Andrea Brown Lewis and the owner of ABL Tax Service. My business is a full tax serving company. I understand that I cannot have any clients coming to my residence to conduct business. I process all tax returns online. All requests for signatures are completed by email using a computer or cellular device. Ms. Lewis.
Ms. Lewis? Can you state your name for us?
Yes, I'm Andrea Brown Lewis.
Council members, do you have any questions for Ms. Lewis?
I have a question. How you doing?
Good, good.
Good. Out of curiosity, who's Carolyn Walthourville?
She's the owner.
Okay, all right. That was my only question.
Okay. Any other questions? Council members?
I make a motion that we approve the business license.
Second.
Those in favor by show of hands? Motion carried.
Thank you.
Thank you. I have one question. If you would, can you explain, or just give us a little information on the process for a mobile home coming? I know you could, but in regard to the neighboring, to the neighbors, because I know I came to LCPC on behalf of a resident who had questions about it, and I didn't know myself that you don't have to get the approval from the neighbors. So can you just explain for the new council and
Maybe check this one.
I can do that.
Yeah, cause it's not like a zoning action or.
Yeah, your zoning allows for mobile homes in certain areas, and just like a house, you don't have to come and get permission to build the house. With regard to mobile homes, it's been a long-standing policy for the city of Walthourville that when somebody wants to put in a new mobile home, even though it's allowed by the zoning, we bring it to you, so you approve every mobile home permit before we do it, even though the zoning already allows it. But on this one, that's been a long-standing policy.
any questions for LCPC on this? Thank you so much. Thank you. Okay, the next item on the agenda is the City of Walthourville Keep Liberty Beautiful proclamation. Is there anybody here from Keep Liberty Beautiful?
Yes.
Please come up. Council members, we have a proclamation for Keep Liberty Beautiful, Arbor Day official proclamation. Would you state your name, please?
Evening, Mayor and Councilman. I'm Ron White, Alabama, Georgia. And here today to help keep Liberty beautiful, the proclamation. And I would like to know if they declare Friday, February the 16th, as a day for Arbor Day in Walthourville.
Okay, I'll read the proclamation. If the council would join me for a photo after this, we like to do things together. Arbor Day official proclamation. Whereas in 1872, the Nebraska Board of Agriculture established a special day to be set aside for the planting of trees, and whereas this holiday called Arbor Day was first observed with the planting of more than 1 million trees in Nebraska, and whereas Arbor Day is now observed throughout the nation and the world, and whereas trees can be a solution of combating climate change by reducing the erosion of our precious topsoil by wind and water, cutting heating and cooling costs, moderating the temperature, cleaning the air, producing life-giving oxygen, and providing a habitat for wildlife. And whereas trees are a renewable resource, giving us paper, wood for our homes, fuel for our fires, and countless other wood products. And whereas trees in our city increase property value, enhance the economic vitality of business areas, and beautify our community. And whereas trees, wherever they are planted, are a source of joy and spiritual renewal. Therefore, I, Sarah B. Hayes, Mayor of the City of Walthourville, along with Mayor Pro Tem Lucero L. Lovett, Council Members Mitchell Boston, Patrick Underwood, Bridget Kelly, and Robert Dodd, do hereby proclaim February 16, 2024 as Arbor Day here in the city. I urge all citizens to celebrate Arbor Day and to support efforts to protect our trees and woodlands. And I further urge all citizens to plant trees to gladden the heart and promote the well-being of this and further generations. This 13th day of February. Sarah B. Hayes, Mayor, Shauna T. Moss, City Clerk. Council members, we need your vote for February the 13th to proclaim Arbor Day in the city of Walthourville. What's your pleasure?
I make a motion that we do 16.
It has 13 on here.
And my name is spelled wrong on here as well.
Madam Mayor, I think it's just
The
cut off.
13th is the date, today's, well, since the council meeting that you're
Okay.
signing it.
Oh,
The
February
16th. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I'll rescind it. Council members, can we have a motion to proclaim February the 16th, 2024 as Arbor Day here in the city of Walthourville?
I made the motion.
I had to correct it for the date.
I second that.
All in favor, show of hands. Motion carried.
And we're gonna do the correction of my name.
Yes.
Thank you.
I think it's just cut off, Miss Levy. If you look at everything at the end of the paper, everything is cut off.
Yeah,
It's just on the copies, right?
Yes, it's just on the copies. Okay.
Originals.
Council member, can we get a photo on this for our city page? Yes, please. We are doing great things for the city of Walthourville. Citizens, if you bear with us for a moment.
Gotta get y'all some trees so y'all can hold them in the picture.
Yes, that'd be good.
Make it get trees, get some trees. That's what we are.
You brought them for real.
Yeah, hey, we got do this the right way now.
They're gonna go to the park.
Oh, okay.
Let me get you right here so you can hold this.
Councilwoman Kelly, get over here. Get next to Bob. One of y'all get next to Bob.
I'll go there.
All right, now y'all get close. 1, 2, 3. All right. I can tell y'all have green thumbs, so they're going to be
Thank you.
Give to your friend.
I said we're gonna plant them in the park.
What kind of tree is this?
Yeah, I'll just.
I say red bud you have right there. The ones with the white ribbon around it is chestnut, swamp chestnut.
How you doing?
Good, how you doing, sir? Sure. We'll get this to you. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, citizens, for your patience.
Yeah, I want them, but don't put them back in the book.
Thank you. Okay. Next item is the date for our first millage rate discussion with the citizens. We've already had citizen input, so we have selected March the 12th. We'll have 2 meetings on that day, one beginning at,
I thought it was the 14th.
it was that Thursday.
Yeah, you said the 14th and 22nd.
Okay. I wrote too fast. March the 14th, first meeting at 5 o'clock, and then we'll have a second meeting at 7 o'clock. Then on March the 22nd will be our third and final meeting, and that will begin at 5 p.m. All 3 meetings will be held at Walthourville Fire Station. Yes, for the millage rate.
Now, is this to advertise for a millage rate?
No, I think this is to tell them what the millage is gonna be.
We've already had our 3 meetings about the millage rate for public input.
Right, so, but to advertise for millage rate, my understanding of the law is that we have to actually, and maybe y'all have done this and I don't know it, set a number now that we're going to advertise to the public
That's what I was trying to say.
for those 3 meetings. I mean, we can't just say, we're advertising to determine whether or not we're gonna implement a millage rate, or whether we're gonna implement, or we're going to implement a millage rate, but we'll tell you the number at the end of the 3 meetings. We have to determine what the millage rate is and include that in the advertisements that go in the paper to be in compliance with the law.
Okay, council, look back. You know, 1 meal is $1,000. For 1 meal is $1,000, and that's based on the square footage of the home. Go ahead. I'm looking for my notes.
So, do we have to set a mill right now? When we advertise, whenever the advertisement goes out, can we say we're advertising for whatever mills for March 14th?
Oh,
Right, on March 14th, we're, having a public hearing for the millage rate of, I'm just throwing a number out there, of 5 mills.
Right, yes.
But we can do that when we advertise it, but we don't have to set a mill right now.
Well, to
Y'all understand my question?
yeah, I totally understand, but to vote to when's the first meeting proposed for?
March
14th.
When's the next council meeting? The 27th?
It's the 12th of March.
What about the last Tuesday this month?
It's gonna be Monday, that 26th.
The 26th of
Monday, we had to move it because
It's
we
the
got
next
class
one.
to go to.
So, well, I guess my question is, are we gonna have a council meeting between now and when y'all propose this?
Yes.
Yes.
We'll have 2.
But will we have enough, we'll have 2 council meetings between now and then?
Right, because we have one more this month.
And then we have 1.
Okay, so y'all can go ahead and vote to do this if you want, I mean, to advertise for a meeting, but we can't actually run the ad until y'all come back and say this is the number of mills that we're advertising for. So,
You weren't here when we discussed this a little earlier in the workshop. What we said we're gonna do is we're gonna look at, we'll have 2 meetings prior to this meeting, and we're gonna state, vote on what the mill will be, then we'll advertise the meeting.
okay, that's fine. But
Is there?
But so prior to the March 14th meeting, y'all will
Have a
have
mill.
a discussion and come up with the
Yes.
number of mills.
Yes.
Okay, well, y'all can, if you want to, go ahead and vote to authorize these public hearing dates tonight to advertise for millage rate. But are these gonna be special call meetings, or are you gonna discuss?
Open to the public.
I mean, but are they gonna be on regularly scheduled council meeting dates, or these additional meetings?
Regular scheduled days.
So, I mean, you can vote if you want to, but it's not necessary, because you're gonna have to come back and vote again. I mean, I would,
We're making sure that we have all our information and everything is ready for, by our, 12th, March the 12th meeting. Then we have everything together for the 14th when we have it for the public.
well, the only problem I see is if y'all don't determine what a millage rate is, what millage rate you want to advertise for until March the 12th, we're not gonna have enough time to run it in the paper before the March 14th
No,
meeting.
we will know by, February 26th, we'll know by then.
Okay, so all I'm saying is it might be more appropriate to wait until February 26th and say, we're advertising for the millage rate and this is the millage rate we're advertising for. Because, I mean, this vote, you can vote on.
We're just voting on the dates to hold the meetings. We're not voting on what the millage rate is. We're just voting on those dates that we're gonna hold the meetings
Okay,
for
that's
the
fine.
public.
Alright,
Yeah.
okay,
Okay, council.
sorry.
That's all right, that's all right. The dates have been set for March the 14th at 5 p.m. and again at 7 p.m. Then for the final meeting, which will be, what we say, March the 22nd at 5 p.m. Yeah, March the 22nd at 5 p.m.
And are they gonna be at the fire department,
At
correct?
Walthourville Fire Department. Can I get a motion?
I'll make a motion that we approve March 14th at 5 and 7 p.m., March 22nd at 5 p.m. for millage rate public hearing.
All in favor, show of hands. Motion carried. Okay. Okay. Next on the agenda is the city fire fee. Council members, during our work session, we discussed our fire fee. We discussed implementing a fire fee. What? Oh, I thought someone said something.
Go ahead.
Okay. We discussed implementing a fire fee. As we stated before in work sessions, the fire fee is not something that anyone looks forward to doing. But we have decided to implement a fire fee for the city of Walthourville to cover our fire expenses that we have here, which will help our general fund, so it won't be overtaxed. So, we were looking at, we need to decide tonight what the fire fee will be and the month that it's gonna start, which we were discussing March.
And an ordinance, right?
Yes, and our city attorney will get with the city attorney to draft the ordinance for our fire fee.
What do y'all want to do?
That's what we're gonna decide right now.
I think that we need a fire fee in order to get through this year, because at this point we passed the budget with the fire fee, and right now with us not having a fire fee, we're not in budget. So I do support a fire fee. I do think that it should be more equitable. I don't necessarily agree with just a flat rate across the spectrum to everybody, because different properties have different circumstances, different square footage, different fire risk, everything. But I do acknowledge the fact that we need to do something now. So that, I like what, I know our fire chief, he stated that he did some research with city of Garden City, and it seems like they have a template as to how we can implement it more equitable. I will say that, and I would like for us to explore that option.
Do we need to have the fire chief to come back up here to state anything else about how this is gonna Are we ready to vote? Okay, well, let's go around and let's hear from each council member as to what you're thinking in regard to this. Councilmember Kelly.
I think we need some kind of fee. So I guess right now a fire fee, and we did say it was just gonna be for the year of 2024. So for 2024, I am for the fire fee.
I'm not for it. And the reason for that is because we're gonna confuse the citizens by starting off with a fire fee, which is only for the fire department. And then next year, we're gonna bring a millage rate. And we're gonna impose that on the citizens. So I'm not in agreement with imposing both of those at the same time on the citizens.
But when our millage rate comes into effect, we're disregarding the fire fee. We're gonna discontinue the fire fee, right?
Well, see, we're not saying that in this meeting.
I just said that, didn't I?
No.
I say?
She said for a year.
Okay, the year is from January through December.
For 2024.
But right now, we're gonna implement the millage rate in March. Am I not correct?
But we won't
We
collect.
can't start until 2025. Yeah.
We won't start collecting until 2025, but we'll be paying on it in 2024. Because if you own a house, your escrow is going to go up.
Okay, Councilman Dodd.
I think the fire fee is a mute point for the simple fact the previous council approved a $25 fire fee. Now, however you guys did that, came up with that, the previous council, that's already done. I think the question now is how are we collecting?
I'm sorry, Clerk Moss,
You approved
you might, I mean, I'm not disagreeing with you, I just don't
You
remember.
approved the fire fee to balance the budget.
We did.
But have we been collecting?
No.
And every month we don't collect, that's $65,000 roughly that we are in the red.
And the reason we hadn't collected is we didn't determine we said $25 a month. We also needed to get the equipment for that and to decide if we wanted, how we wanted it, if we wanted it on the one bill or a separate bill or whatever, how we were gonna do it.
So if we don't go to $25 a month, we're gonna be out of the budget.
Right.
Yeah, heavily.
And so it's a mute point.
Can I ask Mayor Pro Tem Levitt? She said that you were against it, correct? So if you're against it, what other suggestions do you have to collect something to collect the revenue?
That's why I am pushing for a forensic audit to be done for the city of Walthourville. You all keep bucking it, but we need to find out what's going on within the city with our funding.
Mayor Pro Tem, I could tell you right now, I don't support a forensic audit. I'm not gonna support it. And my reason is because, as we stated during the work session, I don't see where, I think that our main issue is that we have more going out than what's coming in.
And why do we have so much going
like
out
that
and
for a
coming
while.
in?
Well, because our expenses have outpaced our income. That's the big answer. You know, I mean, we could split hairs as to each individual expense, but even if you look at our water bill, we're not collecting enough for our solid waste right now. Every month that we send stuff to the landfill, we are spending more than we are bringing in.
And if you're referring to the recycling.
No. I'm talking about solid waste that goes to the landfill.
Yeah.
Last month, we could just use January. Last month, we brought about 241 tons to the landfill for a bill that was about $11,100. I'm sorry, $11,700. We didn't collect that. We might have collected 7,000, maybe. You know, and that's
7,000.
Yes, ma'am. We're not collecting enough.
For landfill.
We're not collecting enough.
You gotta look too, the departments have grown. I know Chief Maxwell, so we got a 24-hour fire department, and I think, 4 or 5 years ago, they were doing stipend, volunteers, right?
Mm-hmm.
Chief, the police department has grown over the years too. I mean, I don't know how many officers we got, but I remember when we had 3 or 4 officers, and now it's growing. So as we grow, as we continue to need the services, we can't expect our employees to work for a bare minimum, because what are they going to do? They're going to go to the city of Hinesville or Little Wissy, and they're just going to
leave.
I mean, we gotta take care of our employees.
Right.
And not only that, our coverage area has increased as well.
When you say that, what do you mean?
Allenhurst, as far as police and water, sewer, everything, we've got more people. They have over 800 homes.
Because the citizens need to know.
Allenhurst, they have over 800 homes out there now, and they did not have that many. So we.
But we're receiving. Are we receiving?
Yes.
So
Yes. Annually, we do get a little money from the city of Allenhurst.
I do have a question for Chief, if you could. So when we think back to December, when you gave that millage of the 20, I mean not the millage, but the fire fee of the 25, that was based on 4,700 homes. I forget.
That number came from a projection that was given by the CPA based on water customers.
So my next question is, the ones that are not in the city of Walthourville, how does that look? You see what I'm saying?
Absolutely, I do get what you're saying. It's a legitimate concern because we do provide water to people that are not in our fire district.
Exactly.
After speaking with Mr. Goffin at the water department, it's a very small amount of customers. Is the total dollar amount going to be affected? Absolutely. But the total dollar amount is already it needs to be adjusted anyway because we didn't bill for 2 months. So the fire fee was set, the rate was set on what the dollar amount was going to be to fully fund the fire department. We decided to do that for 1 year. Since we haven't billed for it for 2 months, we now either have to cut the fire department's budget by that amount and then bill for March to December, or we have to figure out if we're going to adjust the rate to recover that amount of money. The biggest thing that we need is the tax assessor's office to come and tell us what the exact dollar amount is going to be based on the number of residents in the city limits of Hinesville. We can't bill anybody in Liberty County. They're in our fire district, but we can't bill them for that. And then we run into the issue with Garden City, like we spoke earlier about, the ones that aren't getting the bill. It's not that they're not paying it; they don't have a way to get the bill to them. The city of Allenhurst, we need to. My suggestion for what we received from the city of Allenhurst is for fire services to do the same thing with them. Set the IGA amount based on what the fire fee would be if we did bill them for fire.
That would be their council to do that.
Plus, the other thing you have to remember too, you base it on water customers. We do have
Only sewer customers.
Right. So it's going to be everybody that gets a bill from the city of Walthourville for water, utility, and sewage that live in the city limits. Those are the only people we can bill this fire fee to.
And the information you say you need from the tax assessor's office, I mean, I assume they have that readily available, right?
No, they would. I don't think they would have it readily available.
But they can run a report.
Yeah, they'd have to run a report based on the rate that we give them. So we tell them what the rate is.
I get
Right.
you. Okay.
So there's some adjustment that needs to be done to the fire fee anyway. Just for the simple fact that we're looking at roughly $65,000 a month. We didn't collect anything in January or February.
What do you suggest for people that own land but don't receive a water bill?
I don't I don't suggest building anything for anybody that doesn't own a structure.
At $25, I don't even see how we're gonna come up with 65,000. I'm having trouble with finding
The fee, the actual fee was $26.33,
2633.
and it was
Are we including
The
mobile
305?
homes?
Anybody that has water in
Anybody
the
that has
city
water?
of what?
Chief, Garden City, I mean, they bill every property on there, don't they?
yes.
And do you mind sharing their, ordinance with me when you
Yes.
have time?
Yes, I got a copy.
And we are going to meet with them as well.
But, and I think that's a good idea, but, I'd have to look into it, but I'm not sure that we can just exempt certain property owners from the fire fee because they don't have a structure. I mean, and if they're, you know, if I have a stand of pine trees here in Walthourville and it catches fire, I'm gonna come put it out, right?
Right.
And it would, pose potential harm to the surrounding structures if there were any to that property.
Right, but here's the other side of that.
Yeah.
We're not billing for medical response either. So you say, well, if the trees catch on fire, aren't you going to put it out? Absolutely. We're going to go if they stub their toe as well. But that's not what the fire fee is set to. The fire fee is set to assist the fire department's budget and to remove burden on. We're not trying to bill for every little thing we do in the city of Walthourville. That's where a lot of your regulatory fees come in at. See, Walthourville doesn't have any regulatory fees for fire inspections, enforcement of fire code, and things like that. And not to get off topic, that's something we're going to have to address in the very near future. A business today in the city of Walthourville got a cease and desist from DPH. We can't do anything to assist them because I don't have an inspector.
I hear what you're saying, and I hear what, I mean, I understand why you asked that question, Councilman Dodd, but I guess all I'd ask y'all to consider is, in addition to what I just asked, is, you know, if you have like the Lauren from Hinesville Home Center just came here. If we implement a fire fee and exempt properties that don't have a structure on them, I mean, we're gonna go around and then figure out when someone's put a structure on a property and then kick in a fire fee at that time. I don't know, it just seems like that could be an administrative headache in addition to the other, you know, concerns I just raised from a legal perspective.
And again, the fire fee is not a perfect solution to this issue.
Sure.
We could sit here and legitimately poke holes in the fire fee all day. But the reason why we decided to go forward with the fire fee is because the fire department is a tremendous expense. And in order to fund that, you have to have a revenue source, whether it be dedicated to fire only or not. We had to find a revenue source to continue to provide fire service. And with that being said, we're not trying to sell a fire fee to residents for, you've gotten a service all these years for free, now you're gonna pay for it to get the same service. We've made tremendous strides at the fire department in the last 6 to 8 months, so those things cost money. Whereas ISO was mentioned earlier, the fire fee is meant to enhance our capabilities, not fund the bare minimum. So as we continue to enhance our capabilities, another reason why we suggested fire fee was because it has the highest probability of return for the homeowner. If we do our job at the fire fee, and we be prudent with the money we collect from fire fees, our capabilities increase. Those are reflected on ISO. You see that roll back on homeowners insurance. We can request ISO to come back at any time. We're regularly scheduled for PPC studies every 5 years. But with what we've done in the last year at the fire department here in Walthourville, I'm expecting to have the bears come back and see us sooner than that 5 years.
Okay. As it has been stated, we voted on implementing a fire fee when we were going through our budget hearings. So now we need to, go ahead and vote on the public hearings for the 14th, 5 o'clock and 7 o'clock, and for March the 22nd at 5 p.m. In between that time, we will have.
That was for
That's
the
the
millage.
In between that time, we will have, the information that we need. So council members, we need dates for our 3 public hearings.
For what? For the fire fee?
Oh, I'm sorry, Lord have mercy, we're going around and round on so much.
But if
I'm
you want
sorry.
that, if you
No,
want
no,
that.
no. I apologize. It's, I'm staying up late going over these finances, trying to see what we can do and what we need. And it's a lot. It's a lot, yeah. Okay.
You want me to just get an ordinance together and the next, and I don't know, if we can plug in a number when y'all are ready to. When you
See, what is Garden City doing if they don't pay? Did you tell us that already?
So the thing with Garden City is they have a very large percentage of compliance.
Right.
Now, if they don't pay, they have a balance on their utility bill. They can shut off utilities because of the balance. They can also, if God forbid there is an incident in your home, on your property, and you have not paid your fire fee, if you choose not to shut off utilities, if you choose, well, we're just gonna let the balance pile up, and God forbid something happen at that property, and we have to respond to that property, we can bill that resident for that response. That could be anywhere from $1,000 to $50,000, just depends on what it is. Now, what happens when you're not compliant with paying a $26 a month fire fee, and you have an incident at your home, the city bills you for that service, that the homeowner is gonna take that bill, they're gonna send it to their insurance. What's likely to happen when you do that, and your insurance becomes aware that you chose not to pay $26 a month, and now you have a $50,000 invoice from the city, they're probably gonna cancel your policy. And they're probably not going to repair any of the damages that occurred. We are still waiting to hear back from some of the insurance adjusters that live in this area, whether or not homeowners can expect to see a rollback in their premiums that are directly tied to the fire fee. If they pay $26 a month fire fee, are there any insurance companies out there that are honoring that fire fee and rolling back the expense that they pay monthly in premiums? We're still waiting on that. I don't expect that every insurance company will do that, but I don't want to answer. I don't want to speak on behalf of an insurance company.
And I think if one pays, I think all should pay. Landowner or a homeowner, I mean, you still own the residence, you're still paying property taxes here. So you should, it doesn't matter, because prime example, on Griffin, if that catches on fire, there's no structure there, but I live on Griffin, you're expecting me to pay a fire fee. I think even if you don't have a structure and you own land there, you should pay it.
Right, and I don't necessarily disagree with it, but again, we're not trying to put a fire fee in because this is the bill you're gonna pay. Most people go their whole life and never call 911. And so we're not presenting this as this is the bill you're gonna pay if you do. We're not trying to nickel and dime everything we do when we come to a person's house. If we were, the nuisance 911 calls we get that are medical emergencies, we would bill for them. But why would we impose a bill onto a homeowner from a fire department response? They're gonna get a bill from EMS anyway, depending on the response. To me, it seems as though we're presenting a fire fee that is going to enhance capabilities that only the fire department provides. Do we run medical calls? We absolutely do. So EMS is the one that's the lead on the medical call. Do we put out grass fires? Absolutely. But if a big brush incident occurs, Georgia Forestry is going to take the lead on that. We're trying to install a fee that's going to enhance the capabilities that only we provide. No other fire department, no other entity is responding to a fire in a structure in the city of Walthourville other than Walthourville's fire department and our neighbors that come to help us out. You get a fire in your kitchen today, forestry ain't coming, and neither is EMS, unless you're injured. So we're not trying to nickel and dime every service we provide. We're trying to get a fee that is going to enhance our bread and butter services that nobody else is coming to you other than us.
So council, I guess the question is, you had something?
Yeah, I support the fire fee, and I really want to go ahead and do this because it's getting kind of aggravated for me personally. Today's probably my last day talking about this. I think we should go ahead and set the fire fee for $25 flat fee. It's only for a year, well, 10 months now, because we on 10 months, and go ahead and do it. We know why we're doing it. Like Chief said, against the fire department, so the money won't come out the fund balance. So I just want to go ahead and pass it tonight, because after tonight, I'm not talking about it anymore.
You want to add it to the utility bill?
I was told we could. I was told that it had to be separate. That's what I was told. But whatever we have to do, I'm going to go ahead and do it tonight, because after tonight, Underwood is not talking about it anymore, because I just keep going on and on and on and on and on and on. Chief has broken down. I mean, he really don't have to say any more. You know, nothing against him, but he's already explained himself, so I don't know why we keep talking about it. As far as Friends of God, tired of talking about that too. I mean, you can see on here, I mean, solid waste, 11,000, solid waste, 10,000, solid waste. We're not even bringing that in. So like I said, I just want to talk about the fee, get the fee tonight, be done with it. Because after tonight, Underwood, I'm not talking about it anymore. That's how I feel about it.
Council members, we were told the recommended was $26.33. Can I get a motion on what we want to set this fire fee for? Either $25 per household or the $26.33.
Madam Mayor, may I make one comment? If we pass, if you all vote to pass the fire fee that was originally proposed, that fire fee will put us at $125,000 deficit because we didn't build it for 2 months. So it may be prudent to consider prorating the fire fee to generate the original amount less the 2 months we didn't build.
Chief,
So
I love
you're
you.
saying-
I love you, but I disagree on that.
So you're saying it should be $30?
No, he's saying go back for January and February, getting the money for that.
Not to retro it. We're not gonna retro bill anybody. What I'm saying is, if we pass 2633,
Yeah.
2633 was set to generate $770,000 based on 12 months worth of bill.
Right.
We only have 10 months left to bill.
Right. Right.
So if we vote and approve the fire fee on that rate, it's going to start us out
It'd
at
be $31.60.
$31.60. It's a $5,
I got
roughly
you.
$5
Okay,
increase.
okay.
Otherwise, we start with a
I got you.
$120,000 deficit.
Okay. All right.
But that's already been passed. That's already been voted on.
And been collected.
Haven't been collected.
It's not an ordinance yet.
Pass it again.
And we've got a new council here, and if y'all follow the chief's recommendation to prorate it, my recommendation would just be to implement a new fire fee at the rate of $31.60 to begin being collected in March. Now, my math was based on collecting it for 10 months, so collected March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December.
Yes.
Council members, the recommendation is to set the fire fee at $31.60 per month.
I got one question before
Yes.
we make a motion. So, are we going to increase the water rates this year as well?
That's a whole.
Yeah, that's a separate. Yeah, we
That's
dealing with
not
this
on
right
the
now.
list.
Yeah,
I know we're dealing with this, but it's gonna be on that water bill. If we include that 31 and then increase the rates in the
I
same
say
year,
right now,
that's gonna be a lot.
right now, we tackle this.
Yeah.
We'll get all our information together and come together as a group, and then discuss the water bill. if that's what we need to do. But right now, we need to go ahead and vote on this 3160.
I got a question.
Okay,
I got a
3160 does not cover the amount that we anticipate.
Yes, it
Then what we gonna do?
It's gonna cover it, we just did.
I got a question about it too.
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
I know Ms. Moss was saying, how much is it gonna cost us if we implement this and put it on the water bill? I know that stuff over there, does the system support that?
That was gonna be my question. Are you able to get this done and send out a bill with 3160 on it that can be due in March?
Councilman Boston has been in the, talking to us a lot at City Hall, so he understands, and I think Mayor Hayes also. Currently over at City Hall, our computers, we are operating with Windows 8. So it will not, when you all mentioned the fire fee back in December, we contacted our software company, and the computers we have will not allow us, because of the space capacity, with the additional billing, it will not allow us to collect this fee. So we were instructed to get quotes on new computers for City Hall. To get new computers in City Hall for everyone, that is a quote of about $25,500 for computers to substantiate collecting the fire fee. Mayor Hayes told us just to get one computer in City Hall and one person work with the fire fee to collect.
That's a good idea.
We can't afford the 25,000 right now, and we have one person doing the billing, we have one person doing his collections. We have to pay attention to what we have and don't have. And just being honest, we can't afford all those computers right now. What I said was, this month we buy one computer, and maybe a month later or 2 months later, we'll buy another computer. But we have to get busy.
I want to beg you all, please. I know we can get the one, but is there any way you all can give us two?
Tell them the price of that one.
That one computer is $1,650.
I don't think that is a tall order, especially if we stop talking about this forensic audit that we put aside $25,000 for. That hasn't happened, that's not gonna happen. We can utilize those funds to purchase City Hall the computers that they need so that they can do their job.
I agree.
Well, y'all can reallocate the $25,000 to purchase computers if that's what y'all choose to do.
I don't disagree with that either.
Yeah, y'all just need to make a motion to do it if that's what y'all.
That's crazy.
69.
They stopped supporting that back in 18.
Okay, council members, what?
We done went to 4 different things and still ain't said
I have one question. The 3160, are y'all, if you have the computers, are you able to go ahead and add it to the bill and bill it for next month?
Yes, because the software company will upgrade our computers to cover the additional fees that we need to collect.
How many computers will the 25,000 buy?
I think we said
About
10,
10.
20, about 10 in City Hall, that, yes, replacing our 10.
Mayor and council, I'll make a motion that we approve the 3160 fire fee.
Second.
Those in favor, show of hands. We talking about fire.
To be collected from February, March till December, right?
Raise your hand. Council members?
I got something to say. I think before we implement the fire fee, we do the 25,000 to get the computers where she can bill it, and then we look at the fire fee. I can support that, but for 10 months. But the biggest thing is the computers, because there's no sense in implementing a fire fee if you can't collect it.
Now, it's gonna go, if we wait till next month, I'm not agreeing or disagreeing with you, but if we wait till next month and have to collect it over 9 months, it's gonna be $35.11 a month versus $31.60.
There's no getting around it.
Yeah.
I mean, y'all could vote no, but There's no getting around it, we're in debt. And unless you have another option to get us out of debt, voting no is
Keeping us farther and farther and farther, farther.
Yes, we read meters on the 5th of every month. So if you all would, vote on everything, March 5th would be the day when we read meters and do our billing. March 5th, the March bill that the citizens get would have whatever amount you would say for the fire fee on that March bill.
Council members?
I make a motion that we reallocate the $25,000 for the forensic fee and reallocate it to the computers, which you can get the software to charge the fee. And then I make a motion, well, I add on to that motion.
Separate motion.
Okay.
I second.
All in favor, show of hands. Those opposed?
Councilwoman Kelly, you're
I got a
abstaining?
question, so I can't oppose, I can't agree, I can't,
So you're abstaining?
because my thing is, I'm for the fire fee, I'm for the 31, whatever you said, $31 or whatever. But to reallocate the money, I don't agree with that. We can get 1 or 2 computers and do that, but to reallocate that, I don't agree with that.
So is that a no or an abstention, Councilwoman?
It's a, however you wanna take it.
we have to
We
vote.
need a yes or no. We need a yes or no.
I make a motion that we get at least 2 computers for the software.
They've already voted on it now, Councilwoman.
Well, I make a motion no for that then. Abstain, no, whatever. I'm not agreeing to it, to reallocate that money.
Okay, once again, show of hands, that are for reallocating the forensic audit money. Those opposed? Motion carried to reallocate. Now, we need a motion for the 3160 to start collecting, fire fee for March.
I make a motion for the 3160 for fire fees starting in March for
10 months.
10 months.
Second.
All in favor by show of hands? Those opposed? Motion carried.
Abstention or not voting?
I'm not voting because I already said what I had to say about it. Can I ask a question? Yes.
Yes, go ahead.
One computer was 1,000 and something, she said. So 10 computers should be roughly 10, 12,000. Why do we need the whole 25 for computers? If one is 1,000.
I've asked that
The
question,
software.
I've asked that question, the software and then what they have to do when they come down here to install that. And she did get, quotes on that.
Mayor, I can email all the council the quotes that they
Yes.
sent. I'll be glad.
Please.
I think you got it right,
Do
Council.
they have the computers in stock where you can get them?
They should have them. Yes, sir. We'll check on all that tomorrow and let you all know.
And this is VC3 as well,
VC3, yes,
where
sir.
we got the other computers.
And because we are government, you all been hearing about how all these other cities can attack ransom. We have to have so many safety measures, safety precautions on our computer software. Because we don't want to, get hacked or ransom, so they have to have all these software firewalls on our computers.
All right, council members, department reports, was there anything else? Department reports, Mr. City Hall, is anybody gonna give, the report for the water department, since Mr. Goffin is sick?
The only thing, I know you all have been getting the information that Shaw Road will be closed on Thursday for the water team to make some repairs. Possibly they have to relocate some lines. All that information has been
publicized. It's been at WTOC, WJCL, WSAV, Coastal Courier, our Facebook page, and our city's website. And you all will receive the email last week. Thank you.
Okay, fire department,
Alright, so the report for the fire department is as follows. Since the last meeting, we've responded to 24 calls for service. 3 of them have been in unincorporated Liberty, 4 in the city of Allenhurst, and the remaining 17 have been in the city of Walthourville. Of that 24 calls, 7 of them were motor vehicle accidents, 5 miscellaneous fire calls, 1 brush fire or reported brush fire, and 11 medical calls. As all of you have been made aware, we did work a fatality on the railroad tracks a week or so ago. And the Walthourville Fire Department, I will say this, thanks to the contributions and the commitments that have been made to the fire department, we were more than well enough equipped for that response. So I would like to extend a very sincere thank you to the mayor and council and previous mayors and council for that commitment. We were, and not to, we were Johnny on the spot that night. And we did a jam up job, and it was because of what you support the fire department. Other than that, and we are fully prepared for our recycle day. We do a 5-year retention on records at the fire department. We got some 5-year-old records over there that's going in the shredder. So we are fully prepared for recycle day. We are available to assist in any way, and that concludes the report for the fire department. Yes, ma'am.
Did any of our firefighters seek mental health counseling because of that incident with the railroad tracks?
So we did reach out to our chaplain, who did make his services available. None of his services were not sought by any of the members that attended the call. One of the members who attended the call is actually a certified peer support counselor, and she made her services available as well. We got some good guys and girls that are built for this type of work, and when those services are needed, we have them for them. But they did not request any services from that event.
who is this chaplain?
Pastor Richard Hayes is the chaplain for the fire department.
He's awesome.
Any questions for Chief? Thank you, Chief.
Thank y'all.
Thank you, sir.
Police department,
Mayor, council, attorney, and our city clerk. Last but not least, our citizens. I'll bring you a report from the police department. Let's talk first about one of our officers. One of our officers lost his wife last week, and just like everybody, keep them in your thoughts and prayers. Secondly, our officer that is out, injured, spoke to her the other day. She will have to have another surgery, so it'll be a while before she comes back. Let's talk about some good things that occurred in the police department. We, Major Hooker and myself both were able to attend Chiefs Day at the state capitol, and during that time we were able to sit in during legislation in the House. So I appreciate the council for allowing us to attend that. Let's talk about some citations we've written in the past 13, 14 days. We've had 50 traffic stops with 40 citations issued, 10 warnings. We worked 5 vehicle crashes. And I will speak to the council about one of those crashes was a tractor trailer, a log truck passing through our city. It overturned, and it was probably about 4 hours to go out the road. Blocked our roadway for about 4 hours to actually damage the road. I will entertain any questions from the council.
thank you, Chief. I went over to see, as some other members did, went over to see the Officer Adams, and gave him our condolences and everything, and he go as a unit to the services. Okay. Now we have our council reports. Parks and Recreation, Mayor Pro Tem.
The only thing is, I've been trying to make contact with the power company about the lights over in the park. And because I'm not listed as a POC or point of contact, I cannot do that. And I've been told today that their trade name has been removed from the power company report because she was still on there, as far as I was told by the manager of the power company.
Okay. I saw the first memo and the second memo that went out. I don't know why they're being so slow, but her name has been removed. So we should be able to.
She told me that today. Said it was done on the 10th.
Okay, okay. And we do have some trees for you now for the park. Okay. Public Works.
Mayor, fellow council, citizens, I have a few things to address. We're still gathering numbers for third-party contractors to consider for sanitation. Nothing is etched in stone, of course. My main focus when vetting these companies is their willingness to ensure that our staff remain employed with the same or better benefits and that it saves our city money. We should have some more figures from other companies by next month's meeting. In January, we touched on this a little bit earlier. In January, we collected about 241 tons of solid waste in the city. That totaled to a $11,718.50 bill, of which we collect about $7,884. So we are operating in a deficit in our solid waste department. Last month was about $3,835 that we were in the hole. Everything's going up. You know, there's really no way around that. I am suggesting that on our dry trash as well as our landfill fee, that we go up $2 respectively. My suggestion to help minimize our tonnage is, since we're not recycling, we, at least until we decide what we're gonna do, we should collect that second bin that's not being used for recycling. Most of them are not identified, and I also suggest that we don't collect any trash cans that do not belong to the city. And I think that would help lower some of our solid waste, thus lowering our bill. I think that if citizens would like to keep their second bin, they need to pay for it. They need to be charged for it. And as far as what I think there's been a miscommunication as to what our people will collect. I think we should communicate that on our Facebook page as to what items that we will collect, the specs, and as well as on our website. I think that would help to bridge any gaps in communication. And when our resources, when our revenue does allow, I think that the two employees that we lost, we should use some of those funds to maybe get a plaque or honor their memory. But I have nothing else to report.
Okay, and we will, if we could, continue to get us some estimates, because we've had two, and we need to balance whether what they're doing and what we're doing, what's best for the city.
Yes, ma'am.
Monetarily.
Yes, ma'am.
Because we don't need to get somebody and then find out that it's more cost effective to keep what we have.
Yes,
So
ma'am.
we need to make sure we're doing right by the citizens. I thank you. Councilman Underwood.
We got Easter coming up, and I was thinking about us as a city of Walthourville having an Easter egg hunt. We haven't had one, I looked up, since 2021, I guess because of COVID. I was March 30th Easter egg hunt from about 12 to 2. Nobody from the city, just us. maybe donations, whatever, but, no money from the city. But, I'm gonna have a Easter, we all gonna have an Easter as a unit, March 30th from 12 to 2. And, I'll be working on a flyer and I'll give everybody and I'll post it on Facebook from 12 to 2. We'll have an Easter bunny out and I think we'll have, 2 bounce houses. So I just wanna do something, you know, again. Like I said, we haven't had one since 2021, so everybody's welcome. Frazier Park. And I already got with Miss Moss just to make sure nobody was renting the park that day. She said nobody was renting it, so.
Okay. Are you looking at sponsors?
Yes, ma'am. And donations, yes, ma'am.
Put me down as a
I
sponsor.
appreciate it, thank you.
Okay.
Put the office down too.
I appreciate it, thank you.
Any questions for, Councilman Underwood? Okay, thank you. Special projects, Councilwoman Kelly, you have anything for us?
No, not as of yet, other than the 50th year celebration, we don't have anything else scheduled.
And, I have asked City Hall to reserve the, Frazier Park for each weekend in September, so we can do different things. And one of the things I was gonna bring up in Mayor's Corner is the 50th anniversary, how we wanna do this. So we can start getting our sponsor letters out, and we can get this organized, and, you know, we have to be cognizant of the money we don't have. So each of us will hopefully play a role in making this a great 50th celebration. Okay. Councilman Dodd, emergency management update. I know we've had some crazy weather.
Yeah, so, February the 5th through the 9th, they had severe weather preparedness week. Hopefully, you follow some links on Facebook where you can, like on Monday, they had family preparedness, thunderstorm safety, tornado safety. Wednesday, they had a school fire drill. So if any resident needs help on how to make a plan, just let me know. Also worked with Ms. Moss at City Hall. We applied for the city's official re-entry pass, so we got those back today. And Ms. Moss will hand those out, not to everybody, just well, she's got the guidance on that, on that. But everybody's gonna need a re-entry pass. That's all I have, man.
Okay. I wanna ask you about, I know we're in the process for a while now, getting the list to EMA and to our police and fire departments on the senior citizens that live in Walthourville in case of emergency. Can you give that information of what you require to our police and fire department?
So the DPH actually runs the list. They it's a medical needs and a functional needs, what it is. They compile the list, and usually there's about 25 on that, and then we have to evacuate. We have places set out where we'll come and get them and do that. But I think the last list I seen, there was only 2. I might be misspeaking. There was only a couple from the city of Walthourville, but as far as, I'm not aware of anybody that wouldn't fit that list that needs a way out, because the county EMA will provide sheltering to get out of the county if we order evacuation. That's already, we set that up, and as we come closer to hurricane season, I would definitely brief that.
Okay, what I would like to see us do is more along the line of public service or whatever information we have. We put it on the city's Facebook page, but I think something as important as this, especially with all this climate change thing going on, is to have you come and do maybe a short video with maybe people giving advanced questions for some of the things that they don't know. and we don't wanna wait till the last minute to get our information. So we can do like little public service, we put together a public service video. And also that would hopefully help people understand who needs to give what information and why we need it. Sometimes people, especially people who don't have Facebook, and a lot of senior citizens, you know, don't use Facebook. Some do, some don't. But if we put out some information and let them know what's going on, then we'll be better prepared. Okay? If you have something already put together, that'll be great too.
We don't do videos, but we'll get information. We'll get the information. We don't do videos.
Okay, we can put something together then. Okay, thank you. For the mayor's corner, the 50th anniversary is coming, and we elected as a council body, mayor and council body, to celebrate in the month of September. I'm gonna throw this out there, and y'all tell me what you think, council. And I am cognizant of the money issues that we have. If we can have each council member get a couple of people and form a committee and select what you want to do, as far as one could do entertainment, Councilman Underwood, you can get with the youth groups to see who can come. This is what I thought about. One weekend, either a Saturday or after church on Sunday or something, y'all decide. One weekend will be youth weekend. We can have sports, basketball tournament, something like that. I'll go in my pocket and provide trophies for the kids. So I'll take on that cost. Okay, children. That sounds more grammatically correct. Thank you for the children. So Councilman Underwood, whatever things that you could put together, and I've already spoken to Youth Challenge, and they would love to come participate. Then if we can have that will cover the youth, the senior citizens. You know, if we could have something that we do for senior citizens. We can have other days that we highlight the city of Walthourville and let people know what it is we out here doing, and how we're pulling together to get things taken care of and make things better for the city. So if you have some ideas, please bring them to the table. Text me, text each other. We can talk about what we want to do, but we need to get started on these sponsorship, these letters asking for sponsors, okay?
You said every Saturday in September?
That's what I'm saying. If you want to do it every weekend or just do one big weekend, I think it should take more than one, because we need to highlight different groups out here. Like the youth, if we're doing basketball tournaments, somebody recommended, a citizen recommended a dirt bowl.
What?
A dirt bowl, basketball games.
Oh,
That's what they call
Dirt
them.
bowl.
They call them, yeah.
Dirt bowl.
Bowl.
Back in.
I thought you said dirt bowl.
Yeah.
What is that?
Dirt bowl.
Dirt bowl.
Competition.
B-O-W-L.
Okay.
That was before they had the, what do you call it, the concrete or whatever.
I got you.
Yeah, okay. So we can look at doing that, and I wanted to ask, and this is probably something that you maybe probably don't want to do, is like a little parade. We used to do parades out here in Walthourville. We haven't done that in years. Just throw it around, whatever y'all want to come up with, we can sit down and talk about it. Okay. We have to go into executive session. We have a couple of minutes for citizen input. If we have any citizens that would like to say something, one at a time. Listen to me. You have a 3-minute limit, and everything will be kept cordial in here. So state your name and what you like to say.
Good evening, Mayor, Council, and fellow citizens. I want to make this as quick as possible. I do not mind paying for additional services in Walthourville. But the thing that's been confusing to me since this whole thing came up is the fact that I have had 2 recycles, one for trash, one recycle at my home for a long time. I've had water for a long time, I've had sewage for a long time. I can understand that the trash goes up, I can understand that the water goes up. I can understand that we need a fire fee because fire equipment, all that costs more. My point is this, is why in the world are we not figuring out where the money went, and why, like, if the
cost in picking up our trash has gone up, right? Why don't we just add on to the trash fee? You know, every month, if the water has gone up to service the water things, have the water bill go up. When I reflect on my trash stuff and on my water stuff, my bill has basically stayed unchanged. But no, I know I paid a flat fee. So my thought is this, is people don't mind paying for stuff. They just want to know what they're paying for and why. Now, referencing these computers, I'm with Miss Moss and the whole council. We want to have up-to-date computers. City government's got to have firewalls in it. But you do not need to spend $25,000 on computers when Miss Moss says that 2 will do the trick. Now, I'm not saying don't ever update them, but when you're living in your house, right, and Johnny and Sally need a computer, you buy a computer that you can afford for Sally. Johnny waits until you've got the money for another one. This idea of spending all this money, I don't understand where it's going. I haven't figured that out. So I think we need to address that for all the citizens. Thank you for your time. I'll sit down.
Thank you. Is there anyone else?
My name is Dr. Kathy Jennings, and I've been kind of paying attention to our council meetings online, but today was the day I said it's time to come in and see what's really going on. And I would say, I'm gonna actually, because I work in IT every day, you wouldn't believe the cost for this. She was talking about the firewalls and all that. When you want to work in we want to be excellent. We want to have an outstanding city. But when you're dealing with software, I mean, it could be the two, but when it's all said and done, they're gonna eventually. If you operating on Windows 8, you got Windows 11, Windows 12 coming out. It needs to be updated. But I would definitely, as myself as a citizen, definitely start advocating for other people to come, because I sat there literally livid with all the different information and the overload. So I definitely will make sure I kind of put it out there. I didn't know we had a page, but I will definitely be looking for it, because in order for us to get better, we got to move forward. To move forward, everybody got to get on the same page. Because she said something critical. When y'all was talking about the fire fees, I'm asking questions now, like, fire fees? I didn't know what a fire fee was. But people need to come in. Like you said, Mayor, people need to come in. People need to be more vigilant in what's going on in our community. So I definitely will be coming back to the meetings, because I've learned a lot in the time I was sitting here. I'm in an overwhelm, but I have learned a lot.
Thank you so much. Anyone else? All right, citizens, thank you for coming to our council meeting. We need to now make a motion to leave our public meeting and go into executive. Okay. Council.
I make a motion we adjourn.
We're not adjourning.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I make a motion that we come out of regular council meeting and enter into executive session.
Second.
For the purpose of
The executive meeting.
litigation, thank you.